Hello everybody and welcome back to Pokemon Through the Years. Last episode when we left off I said I would grind everybody up to level 27. By accident Thanos got to level 28. But let's take a quick look at our team. We've got Laura at level 27 which has the same moveset because Laura's not going to learn any new moves. We have Thanos which has evolved into a Kadabra and learned both the Sable and Psybeam. So only Psybeam. Now we've got Nick, which has learned Dragon Rage off-screen, question mark, I think, maybe. I don't remember. It's been a while. Then we've got Destroyer, which I don't think learned anything new, but just got more powerful. That seems right. Then we've got Wombo, which I think the same thing happened to. Yeah, that seems like the same moveset. And then we've got Naga on the team as well, which you couldn't see but didn't learn anything new either. So in today's episode we're going to capture a couple of new Pokemon and let's actually see how many Pokeballs we have left. That would be 9. Can we buy Great Balls in Lavender Town? Lavender Town does seem like the place where a new set of balls would unlock. As a matter of fact, we can't even buy Pokeballs anymore. So let's buy 10 of these as well, and then some super potions. Something. I just had breakfast. I keep saying every single time I have something like a little bit of food stuck in my teeth or in my mouth somewhere when I start recording. I'm like, sorry, I just had food. I probably shouldn't record anymore after I've literally just eaten. And then I do it again because why wouldn't I? You're not my real mom. So, long story short, I was gonna say there's supposed to be like an old dude there. I think, honestly, at least in the remakes, I don't know if in Red, Blue and Green themselves, but in the remakes of the game for Fire Red and Leaf Green, that old dude is like 2 spaces more to the right. I am like 99% sure. 99, that's not 100. So, today we're going to catch at least 2. We're going to have the opportunity to catch at least 2 Pokemon and get a third. Because we also have the Eevee in Saladin City. Let's take down here. It's a very good thing that everybody's level 27, turns out, because this Golbat is level 24. And I wasn't thinking that I would be that, like, over-leveled. And I don't think I am, honestly, because we're probably going to try to do the Rocket Hideout today as well, and the Rocket Grunts in there are roughly about level 20-ish, but Giovanni goes up to right around level 30. Probably shouldn't have stayed in for this, should I? I think I'll be fine. Okay, I'm gonna switch out now. I don't trust this. I'm gonna switch out. Let's go into let's go into Naga, just because we haven't used Naga in a little bit, and Naga is back on the team, mostly because I don't remember why I made that choice. I did go into the box and look at every single Pokemon, like, okay, am I going to use you or you or you or you? I did put this team together with a little bit of thought, and apparently I did have a reasoning for bringing Naga, even though I already have both a Psychic and a Water type. I think it's mostly because I wanted a second Pokemon that was good with special attacking. And of course defending, because this game sucks. I don't have anybody with cuts anymore, do I? Because my cut user died. So somebody's gonna have to learn cut. Because I need to get to this grass to capture a Pokemon. HMR1, cut. Can anybody even learn cut? Because if nobody can learn cut, we're not getting a Pokemon here right now. That's just it. That's just bad. I don't think there's any other grass on this route other than this little bit that's behind cut trees. So I can't I can't get to it because nobody can learn cut. But would I be allowed to do the Mew glitch? And Mew would be randomized into something else, I imagine. But would I be allowed to do the Mew glitch? Because that technically is triggered the moment you enter that route. Though the Mew glitch in Pokemon Yellow is like very unstable and buggy and can just brick the game, right? Or at least like crash the game. So probably don't do that. And it's a Dratini! I love it! It's not going to be useful until level 55. But I love it. Let's dig. I don't think dig will take it out. A Dragonair isn't that bad either. Dragonite obviously is very... No! So close. It's so far away. I'm gonna lose my shit if we go up to the building in Celadon City. It is Celadon, right? Oh, it doesn't show in this game. And the EV turns into a Dragonite. That would be great. It's probably not going to, but it would be great. So we made it here in about 5 minutes, and that leaves us plenty of time to, I think, do at least the majority of the Rocket Hideout in this episode, which means that we're only gonna get one Pokemon this episode. Is it an Eevee in this game? It might not be an Eevee in this game, because your rival has an Eevee. It's a Paris. I'm gonna call you Venom, just because I have been like, well, I don't want to say I've been into like a lot of Spider-Man lately. I don't know. I know I don't want Venom on my team right now. But I have watched the Homecoming again lately, and then there's been a lot of rumors about Disney potentially still wanting to buy the Spider-Man movie rights, and then that would also come with a lot of other characters, and Venom. I've been thinking I need to watch that film because apparently that's a very good movie. And then I still also need to watch Far From Home. So I've been not like very much doing things with Spider-Man, but Spider-Man's been on my mind lately. Which is a sentence I don't think anybody would have like accepted you saying 10 years ago. I mean, I know there's been 2 Spider-Man reboots. There's been a Spider-Man trilogy and then a Spider-Man reboot, which I think turned into a duology. That's what it's called, one of those only 2 movies. Feels like that was supposed to be a trilogy. Yeah, let's go into the game corner. There's nothing else we can do. Well, actually, yes there is. There is one more thing we can do before going into the game corner. And that is still trying to capture that Pokemon on that route. I'm still going to try that. I'm going to use a dead Pokemon for it. Sue me. Don't actually sue me. You can't sue me over that. I mean, if you're Donald Trump, you might be able to sue me over that because Donald Trump sues everybody over anything. And that's not even true. He doesn't even sue that many people. He just threatens to sue a lot of people. Anyway, let's deposit, I don't know, Wombo for a moment here. And then change box because this game sucks. Can't wait for Gen 3 when you don't have to do that anymore. Maybe you don't have to do that in Gen 2 anymore. I know Gen 2 still has boxes based on text. Who learned Cut? I think I gave it to Harold. Yes, I did. And I think Gen 2 might also heal your Pokemon when you put them in the box. I think Gen 2 pretty much like fixes everything I hate about Gen 1. And Gen 3 still does wrong, if that makes any sense. So physical special splits, obviously, Gen 1 has it, doesn't have it. Gen 2 doesn't have it either, but Gen 3 doesn't have it either. Either. Does that make any sense? No, it doesn't. That happens in Gen 4, but most of my issues... I mean, I just realized what I said. Gen 2 fixes all the issues with Gen 1 that Gen 3 still has. I mean, that is implicit. Because Gen 1 has issues, Gen 2 fixes some of them, and the things that Gen 2 didn't fix, Gen 3 still has. Not necessarily, because Gen 3 could have fixed some of those issues as well, and I don't think Gen 3 fixed a lot of issues. It fixed a couple of issues, and it just brought Pokemon into a more modern generation. But I don't think it fixed a lot of like gameplay related issues. A couple of quality of life things like the boxes actually being a visual thing rather than just text. But I think the functionality of it was already fixed in Gen 2. Staryu. Need to remember what I'm facing. That's actually a difficult one. Let's go into Nick. So that's my 2 cents on Gen 1, 2, and 3. Again, there's gonna be a lot of that throughout the rest of this series. Let's use Dragon Rage just because we haven't used it on screen, I don't think, because I got it off screen. And that does a lot of damage. Dratini might have had it. Funny thing about Gen 1 is Dragon Rage is actually the only Dragon type move and it does a set amount of damage. So Dragon being super effective against Dragon doesn't actually do shit. Because it doesn't double the damage from Dragon Rage. So it's actually a useless move. It's not a useless move. I take that back. It's a very useful move because it's actually somewhat like... I think it does 40 damage. No matter what. So... Later in the game, like when you get to the Elite Four, to Lance, for instance, the Dragon type trainer, which... There's not a lot of Dragon types in this game, so his entire team is filled with a lot of non-Dragon types. I mean, he's got 2 Dragonites, a Dragonair, an Aerodactyl and a Charizard, doesn't he? Or is the Charizard only in Gen 2 when he becomes a champion? I think that might be the case. Anyway, so let's throw our dad Pokemon at this tree, and I was very afraid that a dad Pokemon wouldn't be able to use an HM. I think, even in more modern generations where they still have HMs, obviously Gen 7 and 8 don't have HMs, I don't think. Gen 8 does anyway. I like that. I like that. Don't kill it. That's all I'm asking. Just don't kill it. You didn't kill it, Laura. You're here to stay. So, Hitmonchan. We don't have a fighting type yet, so he might have a place on the team after this episode. Or after next episode, depending on if I record 1 or 2 today. I'm so glad that I got Great Balls, because that didn't do shit. And that was a Great Ball. That was a Great Ball, right? That wasn't a Pokeball. That was a Great Ball. Please just stay. I just want you to be my team. You're really good for coverage. I don't have anything for rock types at the moment. And that's pretty much all you're going to be good for. I mean, let's be honest here. There's no steel typing yet. I guess for normal types, but there's not a lot of normal types that are like dangerous in this generation, because usually in Gen 1, normal types are just like filler, like padding the Pokédex out. Gotta be honest, like Jigglypuff and Wigglytuff, obviously, and then Clefairy and Clefable. All became fairy types later and actually became a little bit more useful there. I'm going to call you... What am I going to call Hitmonchan? There's so many opportunities for names here. I'm going to call you... Just because I'm not creative. I'm naming Hitmonchan Lee. Because, like, Hitmon Lee. I mean, at least I didn't call him Jackie, right? That would have been very much more uncreative, even. And now a lot of people watching this video are gonna get upset because they call their Hitmonchan Jackie. It's a clever name. It's not a creative name. There's a difference there. And that's most of my nicknames ever are clever but not creative, I feel. And I've been trying to kind of like fix that in the past couple of series and just give them very generic and random names. And I think, honestly, that gives a little bit more character. But usually my nicknames just like, they're not very creative at all. And I think calling Hitmonchan Lee is one of those instances, actually. Calling Hitmonchan Lee is very clever, not creative. Am I calling myself clever? Yeah, I am. Do you have an issue with that? You might. Am I interviewing myself here? Yeah, it does seem like it, doesn't it? And Harold goes away again, never to be seen. So I probably didn't update the overlay for that because... You know what? Speed button, here we go. Wait a second. Don't you have to save when you change the box? Is that only in red and blue and green itself? Did they fix that already in yellow? Huh. Venom is level 25! That changes things significantly. I thought he was going to be like level 5 or level 10. Still with that moveset, I am tempted to bring you because you are a bug and grass type. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to bring Wumbo again, just to minimize the editing I have to do in this episode. I'm going to do the rocket hideout today. We're 15 minutes into the video. We're going to have to be quick with the rocket hideout. Then, next episode, before going into the gym, I will have rebalanced the team a little bit. We've gotten all the Pokemon we can for a while, because we have to do the gym, then we have to do the Silsco, and then we can go into Lavender Town to capture something on Lavender Tower. So, we can get the Lapras, and I don't know. I'll probably ask this in Discord, because by the time this video goes up, the video recording for that will already have happened. So if you want to have input on this kind of thing, join the Discord. I'll probably ask this in Discord, but do we see Silph Because it's a really big building with a lot of trainers, and like we spent probably like an episode, a full episode in there. Do we see that as a separate area from the city it's in, which actually is that Celadon City? I don't remember what city that is, and that's a little bit sad. Because we obviously have Lapras in there. Conversion, what does conversion do? Oh, but that means I can just dig. It doesn't really matter because you're almost dead anyway. We have the Lapras in Silph. You get it right after defeating your rival fight there, and that rival fight is always very scary. That also very scary, Zapdos. I think that means that we've faced all the legendary birds now. Which means that we've faced all the legendaries in the game. Because we've faced multiple Mewtwo's, we've seen Mew, we've definitely seen Moltres and Articuno because they've been in thumbnails. Definitely Zapdos has been put in this thumbnail. Just to complete that. I think we've seen all legendaries in this generation. That is... that is very interesting. The question is, what am I going to do against him? I guess Wumbo? Why Wumbo, you might ask? I don't know. Anyway. Back to my point. Lapras. Silph. I would argue that it's a different area from the city. I mean, the fighting type gym, that's a lot of damage, by the way. That should immobilize you, right? I mean, it doesn't do a lot of damage. But as long as you can't move, you can't hit me. So, yeah, Rep just annihilates you. Because I outspeed. Okay, never mind. That was a good choice going into Wumbo here. So that could theoretically mean I get 2 more Pokemon before Lavender Tower. At least 1 more. But that is spread over like a couple of episodes. So after this episode and we're done with the Rocket Hideout, I'll probably do a little bit more grinding again. Up to probably like level 28. All of my Pokemon. Depends on how high my highest level Pokemon is. I probably would just put my entire team up to that level. Including the new captures. And then probably both Venom and Lee will be put on the team. Just because those are exactly the 2 types I kind of needed. And I just got an escape route. I just remember that I'm very bad with every Rocket Hideout in this game. Both this one and the Silph. I think I can do Silph relatively easy because I've done it not even recently, but I think I remember it a little bit better than I used to. Silph, and holy crap, this is so much faster in the remake. This takes forever to do in this version of the game. But you're supposed to do this, right? This is not just for optional items. If this is just for optional items, I'm going to be a little upset. Okay, I've got a Moonstone. Problem is you need a Pokemon to use the Moonstone on, and everything is randomized, so... And there's only like 2 Pokemon that Moonstones are actually useful for. Well, there's 4, right? There's Clefairy and Jigglypuff, which I just talked about. Fucking useless. And then you've got the Nidoking and the Nidoqueen evolutions, which actually are very good. I've already had one of those die, so I can't use that. And then... I guess if I get a Nidoran meal... Ooh, that's a good move. That's a 1-hit KO move, right? Horn Drill. I feel like that's a 1-hit KO move. Which means I'm not going to teach it to anybody because it's only got like 70% accuracy. Less probably. Actually, definitely less because Blizzard in modern generations has 70%. And this generation, I think Blizzard has 90%. So when we get Blizzard, we win. And when it heals, you get 100% accuracy. I think that still applies to Blizzard to this day. That didn't seem fair. But Snow Warning isn't the thing in this generation yet, or the next. I think Gen 3 does have it already. As a matter of fact, I don't think Weather. Was Weather a thing in Generation 1 and 2? It might not have been a thing, even. I can't remember if Sunny Day or Rain Dance exists. But I think weather effects were introduced in Generation 3. Now that I think about it. I never really realized that Generation 1 and 2 didn't have weather. I might sound like an idiot and totally miss the fact that some fire type has Sunny Day in Gen 2. I forgot what he's going to send out. So I'm going to go into Thanos because I haven't used Thanos on screen yet. Doduo. It's just a Doduo. We'll be fine. We will be fine. Because we can Psybeam you to death in 1 hit. We're 9 levels higher and we're a Kadabra. I don't know when Kadabra is going to evolve into Alakazam, but if we get to that point, we are going to destroy the entire game. I'm so happy that I caught that Abra. You have no idea. The other day I was live streaming Pokemon Platinum Ice-type Ice Monotype, Nuzlocke, Monologue, I don't know how to call it. And I ran into an Abra as well, and I didn't catch that one, and I didn't even like mind that much, to be honest. I mean, I was annoyed, but that one isn't... I mean, first of all, it's a monotype run, right? It's a monotype Aglog? Could you call it an Aglog? I guess you could. So all your captures you trade in for eggs. That's the way I'm playing it anyway. I mean, you can just take the eggs out of the box if you prefer. And just do a normal monotype run rather than doing a monotype Aglog, which is what I'm doing right now, which is insane. I've only done the first gym so far. Later today, I'm going to live stream probably a little bit more of that, because I had a lot of fun the first time around. There were a lot of people in chat, and if you were there, this recording has just been dated. I'll date it a little bit more even. It's Saturday, January 4th, 2020. Today, I don't have the card key yet, so I can't use this. I probably should have gotten that before doing that entire spinning puzzle, shouldn't I? We only have 5 minutes left, in theory, to finish this episode, which is not gonna happen. Just warning you, this episode is gonna go a little bit long. I mean, you already knew that because you opened the video and you saw... This is the spinning puzzle I'm supposed to do, isn't it? I think it is. I always get confused with these rocket hideouts, especially, like, in Gen 1. And I'm very aware that Gen 3, 4, 5, 6... Well, I guess 7 kind of does. But the other generations don't have rocket hideouts, so obviously... I think Generation 2 doesn't even have a rocket hideout per se. It has the radio tower, but that's not a rocket hideout. That's a fucking heist thing. This is... You give me the elevator, right? The lift key. I don't like the fact that he says the word elevator doesn't work. You need a lift key. Make a... Oh my god. Hello, Charizard. Make a choice, right? Either it's an elevator or it's a lift. I don't mind the fact that English is like a weird language which is spoken over like the entire world, and there's differences in words and in pronunciation sometimes, but we go for words here, or maybe even spellings of the same word, like favor and color, having a U or not having a U. You have 2 fire flying types, the only 2 in the game. That's insane. I love it. Let's go into Naga. That's great. I mean, later on, obviously, there's more fire flying types. Ho-Oh, and then I think that might actually still be it. Like Charizard, Moltres, Ho-Oh. So any more fire flying types? I don't think there is. It's not a good type combination, by the way. Oh, I remember this, yeah. This was an issue in the 3rd gym, wasn't it? Okay, so the only reason that I lived here is because you missed an attack. That didn't do anything. And you only have... Why do you use Fire Spin, is the question. Don't you have any other damaging moves? Because Fire Spin isn't super effective against me, and you're not aware of how broken it is. I mean, me as a player, I'm aware of how broken Fire Spin and Wrap are, and as a result, I'll use them whenever I can. Probably should be using them right now, to be honest. But you as AI don't know that. That isn't programmed into your AI. Unless Pokemon Yellow has become self-aware. Has Pokemon Yellow become self-aware? Do we have a self-aware AI here? Because I don't think I like that. Probably the way to fix this is not to stay in and keep doing the same thing. The way to fix this is to go into something that's faster and not literally called slow, bro. And wrap the Moltres. And now you use Pack! What? I'm thoroughly confused. I mean, Rep is just going to annihilate this Moltres slowly, but I'm thoroughly confused. You apparently had Pack, which would have been at least neutral against Slowbro, yet you chose to go for the Fire Spin. Pokemon Yellow has become self-aware. It's the only answer. Pokemon Yellow has become self-aware. We need to do something about this. Pokemon Yellow is going to... If we let this go onto the internet... My god, I got this wrong from the internet. The AI has escaped. We are doomed. I probably should have mentioned. The reason I like to talk to him from the right side there is because, yeah, he poops out the lift key. It's... I know it's not actually funny, but, like, 10-year-old me thought it was funny, and for that reason, I still, to this day, think it's kind of funny. Razor Wind might not be a bad move, to be honest. Okay, so we've got the lift key now. I'm gonna go straight to Giovanni, because I've got potions. Not an escape rope. I've got potions, and I can just heal up the Pokemon that need healing. And with that, we can finish Giovanni. And I know we're roughly at the end of the episode now, and I probably should just, like, end it here, but what am I gonna do, right? What am I gonna do? Because I can start next episode with the Giovanni fight, and then there's nothing left. I mean, I can grind between now and next episode before the Giovanni fight, but I don't really want to do that. And the Giovanni fight shouldn't be that long, all things considered anyway, especially if I'm speeding through this slow as fuck animations here. There will probably be like a couple more rock and grunt fights in between as well. This might be a 40-minute episode. I'm sorry, we did a lot. And I say I'm sorry. I don't know that you guys actually like dislike long episodes. Do let me know. Do you prefer shorter or longer episodes? Oh, that's Jesse and James. So there's no Rocket Grunt here, I imagine, just Jesse and James instead? Because in Mount Moon, they removed one Rocket Grunt and gave you the Jesse and James fight instead. Wait a second. I hadn't noticed in Mount Moon. But they don't have randomized teams. Is that right? Or did something just randomize into a Weezing? That is entirely possible, that something just randomized into a Weezing. It's unlikely, you're not gonna poison me. You poisoned me, for fuck's sake. Well, I guess we'll see, right? Because if you now send out a Meowth or an Arbok... Okay, it's a Kabutops. So... they do have randomized teams and something just got randomized into the Pokemon that it was supposed to be to begin with. That might be the first time that's actually ever happened. It could be the Arbok, to be honest, that got randomized into a Weezing. Either way, the chances of that happening are so low. They're actually ridiculously low. I mean, this is just easy. Easier than it should be, to be honest. Because it's a Nidoking. But if there's one thing my team can take, it's a fucking Nidoking. Why do you use Double Kick? Is there some issue in Gen 1's AI where sometimes Pokemon use moves that are not very effective against your Pokemon when like their AI level is too low or something like that? Because Fire Spin and now Double Kick? I mean, I guess Double Kick could be explained by the fact that when dual typings are a little bit messed up in Gen 1, and when choosing a attack, the enemy only looks at your first typing, I think. Which can result in some interesting things. Do I have an antidote? I doubt it. Yeah, no, I don't. But I think there's only Giovanni left. Yeah? Okay, so there's only Giovanni left, which means that it's not going to be that long of an episode, because I can probably, like, more or less sweep Giovanni. He's only got 3 Pokemon, highest being level 31, I believe, which is not low. But you start with a Mr. Mime, so that's problematic, because nothing is super effective against you. Well, Ghost is, but the only things that have Ghost-type moves are also Poison types. I guess we will not go into a Wombo. Naga is a possibility, but probably not a good one. I think Destroyer might be, or Thanos. Let's go into no, Nick. I don't know why my mind went to Thanos and thought that's Gyarados. I wanted to go into Gyarados. Light Screen is special attacks. I wasn't going to use special attacks against you anyway. So let's use Bite. That does about half. And now Barrier. Wait a second. Was Barrier called Reflect? Reflect called Barrier? Or is Barrier a different move? I'm confused. I need to run Meal. How cute. I'm just gonna stay in and just Dragon Rage everything. Because that's clearly working. And he's got screens up, which means that a set amount of damage is very, very useful, because I'm going to do 40 damage no matter what happens. Also, there's Nidoran female, not Nidoran male. I'm not very smart. And as I said, we're just going to sweep you, because Executor isn't going to be able to do anything against Nick. And if there's one thing that my team is better equipped for dealing with than Nidoking or Nidoqueen, it might actually be Executor, because I've got Laura, I've got Destroyer, I guess I kind of got Nick. Well, that's actually about it, isn't it? I mean, I guess I've got Wombo, but you don't want to send out Wombo against a Barb Psychic type. It's just a bad idea. I thought that Giovanni's highest level Pokemon was going to be level 31. That is the upcoming gym is 31. Giovanni was level 29. So I think I was at a pretty good level here, actually, to take on Giovanni. And everybody is now level 28, 29? Well, not everybody, but at the start of the next episode, everybody's going to be. So now you give me the... Oh, you already give me the Sylph Scope. Oh, after Sylph Scope, we... how much HP do you have left? Plenty! After Sylph Scope, we get the Master Ball, not the Sylph Scope. I always get that messed up. So next episode we're going to do both the gym and Lavender Tower, I suppose. How about... No. I'm going to end off this episode. If I wasn't playing this on video, I would have taken on that challenge there. Or that NPC, that rocket run. But this episode is going long enough as it is. So I will do a little bit of grinding. Everybody will probably be level 28 or 29 at the beginning of next episode. And with that, we have the end of an episode. And the team will look slightly different as well, because I'm going to bring both Venom and Lee to pretty much round out our type coverage. I think with that, we've got everything we need. We can take care of pretty much every Pokemon, other than the fact that we still don't have an electric type. I desperately need an electric type, because if we keep running into these legendary fucking birds... Anyway, this episode's been long enough, as I said. I'll see you all back next time. Until then, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you've enjoyed this video. I've done this plenty of times, you know what to do. Bye.